comments. I just can't speak a whole much louder. 3 minutes per person and for 30 minutes.
Okay, can I speak first?
Okay.
I'm John Kraft.
Thank you.
I've been wondering why the township has been refusing to allow people to camp without charging them, since I'm of the opinion that the township code does not permit charges for use of the park. And now, since people have refused to keep paying, you're going to take a vote to prohibit camping at the park. A little bit of history. When water fountains were first segregated between whites and blacks, and then they desegregated, did people remove all their water fountains? Or was everybody permitted to use the water fountain of their choice? I believe that this township is attempting their own version of removing water fountains. Last Friday, July the 4th, a former trustee who was on the township board, the same time Kathleen Kennedy was on the park committee, wrote this message. I know the park is supposed to be free and for everyone, but our thoughts were by charging a small amount and no sign on Highway 102, we could try and keep this park from being overrun by blacks and Mexicans because the Wilmington Islands are. We wanted it for us, the township. That's why I think this township is trying to pull the old remove all the water fountains trick. Trustee Kathleen Kennedy is the only board member who was on the park committee at the time. And please consider your true motivations when voting to prohibit camping at the park. Because from the actions taken over the last 2 to 3 months, this message from a former trustee that was in office at the time they started charging, it's beginning to look like there's a reason that you don't want a free park like the township code requires. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you. My name is Kirk Allen. I would like to address kind of along the same lines what Mr. Kraft did in regards to the park, because I believe there's been some misunderstanding. This is a copy of the Ansel Goins letter that was provided to the township. And on page 1, and I quote, "As a result, the township may charge reasonable fees for recreational and institutional programs it conducts in Rivals Lookout Park." On page 2, the township may conduct recreational and instructional programs at Rivals Lookout Park and may charge reasonable fees for those programs. And we've asked, and nobody's identified any programs, recreational or otherwise, that you guys provide at the park. And that's been our point all along, and that's why we believe the statute's pretty clear, it's for the free use of the public. With Ms. Kennedy being on the park committee at the time that this statement was made, it's unfortunate she's not here, but she needs to resign. She had knowledge of this information and has done nothing to fix this problem, and this is the problem that needs to be addressed. Thank you, that's all I have.